Hey dudes and dudettes, it's Chris, GearNoir on theshavingcadre.com. Back with you for my Monday shave video. Guess what? It's Monday, it's not a holiday, and everybody's home. Dang coronavirus. This is me doing my efforts in the TSC to, social distancing, social distance, however you want to say it, but still keep in contact with everybody. Not like the internet can transmit the coronavirus, but you never know. People stop buying Corona beers and just in case. People stocking up on toilet paper just in case. But anyway, let's get the shave going. Stirling Christmas Eve today. Nice Christmassy pine, cinnamon. It does smell like the holidays, that's for sure. Can't use a Stirling soap without using a Stirling brush. 2-band synthetic. We've got some Pitralon Classic to follow up. Haven't used a heavily scented aftershave in a while. I've been enjoying fragrances. And speaking of fragrances, got this nice sample of Guerlain L'Eau Boise, I think is how you say it. Good stuff. Kind of a green, slightly woody scent, a little bit smoky. And I've been riding the Vector train for the last 2 weeks. I got my Vector AC format razor with a Feather Pro in there. Nicely used blade, nice and smooth. The first shave or two is a little bit rough, but definitely super sharp. But now that it's had a number of uses, it's very nice. Let's get this going. Just came back from the post office, which was surprisingly fairly empty. Only a short line of a couple people. It is Monday, but it's a special Monday. It's coronavirus Monday. Day one, coronavirus. Went to the post office today. There wasn't a line. What is this world coming to? I'm making light of it, but it is kind of serious what's going on. So hopefully everybody watching as well, everybody in my family so far as well. There's a nice load there. Stirling always loads and lathers very easily, and you get a heck of a lot of soap. 5.8 ounces for something like 15 bucks. That's not bad. That'll last you a while, a couple months at least if you use it every day. Got my Leonard's shirt on from Hawaii. Oh yeah, Leonard's Malasadas, baby. Asian treats. Pacific Islander, maybe. Good stuff though. But yeah, I do have one extended family member, one of my cousins, unfortunately, got diagnosed. But she's getting treatment. Seems to be doing okay. She's young, which she is in the health field, which is, I'm sure, has to do with why she came down with the virus. My poor dad, if he's watching this. California just, was it yesterday or the day before, issued a statement that bars are to be closed down, breweries and whatnot, those kinds of gatherings. Restaurants are to have their occupancy or figure out alternative ways like carry out or drive-throughs or whatnot. And people over 65 are to stay home unless an absolute emergency arises. So, that includes my dad. It's all right, Dad. Plenty of practice shaving. and still smell good, even if you're stuck inside all day. But anyway, kids are out of school, technically, because of what's going on until the end of the month. We are fairly certain with the way things are going around the country and around the world that will be extended, unfortunately. So that should be interesting. We're very fortunate with the schedule my wife and I have, that it kind of works out where they're not unmonitored for too long. I mean, my oldest is 13, so that's not that bad. He's capable of holding the fort down for a little while, if necessary. But it's not necessary yet. I mean, I work in the evenings, wife works through the afternoon, so we got parental coverage. Don't have to worry about babysitting or childcare, all that. Church that I work at, pretty much the majority of events have been postponed or canceled for now, indefinitely, till we figure out things, and which will be a while, I think. Just because it is what it is. We're the U.S. is kind of at the tail end of this. We're a little late in getting started with our outbreaks and policies and whatnot. Kind of behind the curve a little bit, which is fine. As long as we're making the strides. Not gonna get too political about that. I know stuff is hot and heavy on Facebook and social media about those kinds of things and who's doing what or not doing what. I'm not worried about that. Just gotta watch out for the family, friends, those closest to you. Practice your hygiene, good hygiene technique. Keep clean. Keep distance for a little while. A little common sense never hurt anybody. But church I work at, as I was saying, most things are postponed or canceled for the time being. That included services on Sunday, unfortunately. But, as I mentioned in my post yesterday, we got together with some friends, just our two families, a couple that we're pretty tight with at the church, and listened to the recorded sermon that our pastor did, our head pastor, and broke bread together in the form of breakfast yesterday morning, and had a few hours of fellowshipping and learning, so that was nice. Kind of brought it back to the basics. If you know any history about the Christian church, that was kind of how things started. Home churches, essentially. I know a number of our elders were offering the same to other folks. If you did not get invited, don't feel insulted. I mean, in general, because the church is offering lots of resources on the website, sermons, devotions, and if you haven't connected to something, maybe it's a sign that you should start something up. Doesn't take much. Little simple meal, just a few friends maybe. Listen to the teaching. Be fed in more ways than one. That's all you need. Just the basics. It's kind of nice, actually. It's different, but nice. I do feel for the Christian church in China, though. I was reading an update from a bishop over there that essentially this virus has succeeded in allowing governments to put the kibosh on churches, Christian churches specifically, where they've been trying that through legislation and rules and whatnot for many years. Now they have a health reason to do it, and it allows them to close essentially the churches indefinitely, and they may never reopen. We'll see how that goes. But prayers for brothers and sisters there and around the world and everybody. Just keep the world in your prayers. If this thing blows over quickly, without too much loss of life, doctors can figure out good testing and people get out of hospitals quickly. This mass panic kind of subsides. You know, I talked enough about that. Not bad. Since it's so late, it's like after lunch already. That's because I've been doing stuff, slept in late. I was pretty dang tired. But I won't bother cleaning up. Just do my wrap up here. Only a couple spots really need touch up anyway. It's a pretty dang good shave. Smells pretty dang good too. By the way, bingo should be starting tomorrow on www.theshavingcadre.com. It's kind of the online forum where I hang out, and a bunch of other shavers. Forums have been kind of quiet lately with all the things going on in the real world, but a good group of folks. We do have a PIF going on, a PIF, that is being put on by Mr. Dave in Kentucky, generous guy that he is. But we're keeping word of that off of the pages. And you'll have to check out his last video if you want to know the details. I won't say any more, ruin it, or ruin it for him anyway, as he was very specific about how he wants to conduct that. And what else? Oh, I did go to the post office like I mentioned. So Mr. Ken, your DevEt package is on the way, sir. If you're watching this, I messaged you earlier after I sent it, your tracking info and whatnot. But hopefully you get around to that. It should be there by Thursday. Glad to hear you're doing better, your wife and your doggy. We have an old doggy too, and she's hobbling around. Not quite the troubles that your dog is having, but it's a little sad to see. When we got our newer dog, she kind of perked up a little bit for a while, and now she's back to moseying around and trying to be the boss. Which she has every right to be. She's been here the longest, and we love her the most. Shh, don't tell the other dogs. But she is getting old. So that was some generic witch hazel, throwing on my Thayer's Medicated. Kapow! Oh wait, no. Dave does that for Nivea. For Thayer's, he goes, "There's Medicated." Good to see that Dave's settling into his new house, getting things done that way, all his unpacking, and now he's got being a health care professional, has to be stuck in a bunch of meetings about virus and hospital protocols. The boss life, Dave? Boss nurse. Alright, that was the Pitralon. Let's wrap it up with some of this Guerlain. You know, Guerlain does have a lot of scents that kind of smell similar, a lot of riffs off of their basic scents. This one is pretty nice. This probably shot up to one of my favorites. Guerlain just has a bunch of high quality scents. I mean, if you need something cheap, like $25 to $45 range, which is cheap for a good fragrance lasts long, smells good, especially, at least their men's fragrances. I haven't tried any others, obviously, but a couple spritzes on the wrists. Trying to use these up so I can get them back to Gus, Mr. Glazed Boker on the forums. He kindly sent some to Dave in Kentucky, who kindly sent them to me to finish them up, and I'm going to kindly send them back to Gus for the next batch of whatever he feels like. But it's been a good experience. Guerlain has some really affordable, good smelling fragrances if you're ever in the mood. I mean, they're not like the designer fragrances you get today, like Tom Ford or anything like that, but they are solid. They're classics. They're still around for a reason, and they're cheaper. So I love Guerlain Vetiver. The Vetiver Extreme is good, a little bit lighter version. I don't know why they call it Extreme, because it's a lighter version of the regular Guerlain Vetiver. This L'Eau Boise is really nice, and I forgot the other one that I enjoyed, but it's kind of a mojito scented one. I think I talked about it in my last video, but that was nice. Just solid. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling on now. Y'all have a great week. Catch us up at www.theshavingcadre.com. I think we need 2 more members as of the time that I'm making this video to reach that 300 mark. Please, if you haven't joined, join. www.theshavingcadre.com. We've also got our anniversary package. All the items are almost assembled. Anniversary package assemble. Avengers, whatever. Trademark TM. But so that's exciting. We still haven't gotten our PayPal invoices yet. We're waiting on those. Chad is waiting to make sure just about everything gets in and assembled before he sends those out. But lots of great stuff coming in that package. Anyway, here I am rambling again. Have a great week. See us on the pages. Bye.